Mom, can you tell us where you were born?
I was born in Bethel Community, and that's about 2 miles from Harrisburg, Arkansas. My parents were Guy and Myrtle Singley. I was born December the 6th, 1918. I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters, and I was the oldest of the 9. I went to school at Bethel School, started there in the 1st grade, and I went there most of the first 8 grades. The first 4 were in one room, and the last 4 through 8, were in the other room. We had 2 teachers. For a short time, I went to school at Burn School near Truman, and then I finished high school in Harrisburg, 1936.
You grew up in the Bethel community, and can you tell us something about your everyday life, like what kind of, how did you cook food back in those days?
We had an old iron cook stove. We used wood, and it was a good old stove because we loved the food that was cooked on it. I remember my mother would have sweet potatoes baked when we'd come in from school, and they were real good. And a pot of soup beans were always so good cooked on those stoves, but it was a good stove. And we grew most of our vegetables, and we canned our fruits, and we had good food. We didn't have any money. It was during the Depression. We didn't have any money, but we had real good food.
And how did you keep your eggs and milk cool in the summertime?
We didn't have electricity and no refrigeration until I was grown. And we put our milk in tubs of cold water to keep it from souring and to keep it.
How did you get your water?
We had a pump. A hand pump. It was pumped by hand.
And how about baths?
We used an old wash tub and heated our water on the stove for taking a bath, and we bathed about once a week. We couldn't bathe as often as we can now.
And how about iron your clothes?
We'd spend one day washing. We used an old rub board and with a wash pot to heat our water, and we would boil the white clothes because that made them white. And then the next day we would spend ironing. All of your material would wrinkle, and you had to iron it before you could wear it.
What kind of iron did you have?
We heated the irons on the stove. They were hand irons. We didn't have electricity, so we had about 3 irons, and when you'd use one iron till it would get cold, you'd put it back on the stove and take off another one that was hot.
And about boiling the water, where did you boil your water to wash clothes?
We had an iron wash pot in the yard, and we built a fire around that wash pot, and we used that for hot water to wash our clothes.
Did you have clothes hangers?
No, we had a clothesline on the outside.
What about hanging your clothes up inside? I mean, after you ironed them, you hung them up on what?
We had a place to hang our clothes, and we had some, as well as I remember, we had a few hangers for our clothes. But we had part of the time we had a wardrobe, and we hung our clothes in it. We didn't have enough room for everybody, but we'd hang them behind the doors. And
did you?
We didn't have much storage space. Back in those days, you didn't have storage space. You didn't have clothes closets either. And I remember we had boxes under the bed for a lot of our clothes, and I said when I got married I wasn't going to have anything under my bed. But I did. Your house fills up, and you have to use, you just don't have, you can always fill up space for storage, I guess.